The Zodiac Killer. The elements involved today included psychiatrists, astrologists, and police guards for school buses. Terry Drinkwater reports.
School children are nice targets. I shall wipe out a school bus some morning, shoot out the tires, and then pick off the kiddies as they come bounding out. That was the threat of the Zodiac Killer. Now, every day, police cars follow the buses which would be likely targets. Officers armed with shotguns take the threat seriously. The psychotic killer.
The Zodiac Killer was a pseudonym of a Northern California-based serial killer responsible for the confirmed murders of 5 people and likely even more. The killer, who still remains unknown, would send a series of cryptograms or coded messages to reveal more information about the killings of the SFPD. The case was deemed inactive in 2004, but was opened again in 2007. The 5 confirmed murder cases include David Arthur Faraday, Betty Lou Jensen, Darlene Elizabeth Farron, Cecilia Ann Shepard, and Paul Lee Stein, all within a year. This topic is fascinating because despite all of the killings and clues left by the Zodiac Killer, he still remains to be left unfound. Despite over 50 years of piling evidence, the killer has managed to evade the police and still remains at large to this day. His cryptograms remain fascinating as well. The first of the Zodiac Killer's cryptograms was only cracked 21 years afterwards, leading to more questions regarding the identity of the killer.
Team from the US, Australia, and Belgium may have finally unlocked this riddle. It has puzzled authorities since the Zodiac Killer sent this to the Chronicle in 1969. Investigators hoped that the Zodiac, who killed 5 people in the Bay Area in the late 60s, would reveal his name in one of his many ciphers, but this 340 cipher doesn't do that. According to code-breaking expert David Oranchek, the cipher's text includes this message. It says, quote, "I hope you are having lots."
Gary Stewart, author of a new memoir, The Most Dangerous Animal of All, says the serial killer is his father, Earl Van Best, Jr. Stewart, a Louisiana businessman, made the startling discovery after a 10-year search helped him identify Best as his biological father. This photo shows a striking resemblance between Best and a sketch of the Zodiac Killer. Gary Stewart's father died in 1984, but he says forensic experts have matched his father's handwriting to cryptic notes.
The first theory, although a weaker one, but many believe, is Ross Sullivan was the Zodiac Killer. He was held in suspicion due to the murder of Cherry Joe Bates in California in 1966. Ross had disappeared for several days after the murder, and he was a known schizophrenic and had bipolar disorder. His description matched many of the witnesses, as he had a crew cut, wore glasses, and often had military clothing. Arthur Leigh Allen is the most popular theory as to who the Zodiac Killer is. He had surmounting evidence, including talking about wanting to kill people, a Zodiac brand watch. He owned a gun of the same caliber as the one used in one of the Zodiac shootings. He called himself the Zodiac. And Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard were stabbed at Lake Bernessa. Allen claimed he was scuba diving at the lake, and he returned home with a bloody knife in his car. However, even with all these facts, his description did not match any of the witnesses, nor did his DNA with pieces of evidence found in the letters. Was he just an admirer, or had he found a way to beat the system?
The home of the man police have suspected off and on for the last 20 years. That man, 52-year-old Arthur Allen, talked last week about the most recent search of his home.
They took a lot of my tapes. They took samples of my handwriting. They screwed up a lot of my stuff here, too. But I know who the guy was. I'd never said a word to him. I didn't like the punk. And I said, well, this guy must be on the hot seat for something. Oh, no, he just phoned down and volunteered this information. Well, I found out the next day from a different police officer that, yeah, he sure had. He was trying to plea bargain because he was facing 30-year rap on multiple armed robberies.
Earl Van Best was a prominent business person who was accused to be the Zodiac Killer due to 2 main pieces of evidence that came against him after he died. One of the main pieces of evidence were the partially deciphered ciphers often mention words such as Junior, Best, and his initials, EB. Another piece of evidence was that his handwriting and the handwriting on the ciphers that the Zodiac Killer often sent to the police were the exact same. This was proven when they compared the writing on the marriage certificates to the ones on the ciphers that he had left. Although this evidence could be pure coincidence and this theory is often disregarded, it is important to understand as it is one of the more modern theories on who the Zodiac Killer is. The theory that we believe and support is the theory that Arthur Leigh Allen was the killer. This is due to the massive amount of evidence and clues that led him to be the Zodiac Killer, as well as the popularity of this theory. Although some evidence may point against it, much of it does, and we believe that the evidence that does outweighs the evidence that doesn't. Thus, Arthur Leigh Allen was most likely